Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. As you can tell by the title and thumbnail, I almost blew up my PD130. There's so much to go through today, so let's get into it. If you've been watching along on the channel, you will know that I have had constant major coolant issues with the car, and that kind of leads on to how I almost blew it up. And I guess we'll just talk about that first. So it'd been about a month since I properly drove the car, and myself and Ben, that you've seen on the channel before, decided it's a nice day, a bit like today, not windy, not cold and not raining. So decided to take the car out for a jet wash and then go up to the garage to grab a few more bits and bobs that I needed anyway. Upon leaving here to go to the car wash, Ben actually said to me, "Look James, there is a serious amount of white smoke coming out your exhaust, and that can only mean unburnt diesel or coolant is getting into the combustion chamber, so a head gasket." But me thinking about it, I thought it's over 250,000 miles, it's over 20 years old, it's an old diesel modified, so it might just need a good clearing out. So after the car wash, we drove to the garage and I gave it the beans, flat to the mat, some hard cut limiter, and I thought that would solve it. But that didn't, which gave me the more, oh no, I think something's really wrong, because it was still smoking. Ben did actually record a clip of the smoke. It's quite hard to see, especially on a sunny day, so I'll insert the clip. And as you can see from me pulling away there in first gear, going into second, white smoke, as well as sitting at a certain speed, on and off throttle, it was really bad. So once we're at the garage, I actually figured out what it was. So the first check was obviously oil, and that was fine. The coolant level was fine, and I didn't really know what else to sort of think of until I grabbed this radiator hose, which was absolutely roasting hot because that comes from the engine into the radiator. Then I felt this radiator hose, which goes to the thermostat, down into the bottom of the radiator here, and that was really cold. So there was no circulation, the coolant was sitting basically idle in the engine, and that is all down to thermostat. Again, if you've been watching along, you'll know that that is a brand new thermostat. I've also fitted 2 temp sensors in the head, and still not got a temp reading, and the thermostat is now stuck closed because the previous one was stuck open. Obviously my oh no feeling got worse because I'd literally been driving hard and hard cut limiter in when the thermostat was clearly closed. So even after all that, this was still cold and this was absolutely roasting, and I had zero reading on the gauge to tell me if it was overheating or not. So I managed to nurse the car back and I decided to make a decision. You can still see the thermostat here that I've removed, and there is the temp sensor out of the head. So you're probably thinking, well, he's already sorted it, so what happened? I've bought these parts from eBay before and they've been completely fine on other cars, but for some reason that is a thermostat failure and 2 temp sensor failures. So I thought, do you know what, if you buy rubbish you buy twice. So I went straight over to Darkside Developments, bought a new thermostat, a new temp sensor, next day delivery, and managed to fit them. It is a slightly different thermostat because it opens cooler, and the reason for that is because it's going to be running higher power, which I'll explain at the end of this video. It allows the thermostat to open sooner, therefore keep everything slightly cooler than your normal thermostat opening degrees, allowing for more power, which again I'll explain. Because it arrived the next day, I was doing a split shift at work, so in between shifts I took the thermostat out, put the new one in, took the temp sensor out and put a new one in. I then filled it with coolant, ran the car, and believe it or not, I finally seen movement on the temp sensor reading on the gauge. I'll insert a photo as well. My excitement when I seen that was unbelievable, because since I've had the car it's never had a proper reading on the gauge, it's not even moved. So just to see that little movement, I was absolutely delighted. But I still had the oh no, because would it overheat? Have I blown the gasket? Have I done some catastrophic damage with driving it so hard with a closed thermostat? Me being me, I can't be satisfied with a job unless I properly test it. So what I done was I then used the car to go back to work, and straight away I noticed that when reversing out of the drive and driving up the street, I could actually see the smoke from the back of the car, because in a sunny day like this, if your car's smoking it doesn't seem as bad. but because it was dark and the street lights were on, you could see it so clear and it looked really bad. But on the bypass, up to 70 mile an hour and keeping it there for over 20 miles, I could see that it was eventually clearing out. And then done my shift, heading back from work, and with cars sitting behind me with their headlights, me on and off boost, moving in and out of traffic in certain gears, absolutely nothing, clear as day, no smoke, and the temp gauge sat just below 90, which I believe is right because of the colder thermostat. But I had a reading, didn't overheat, there was no smoke, so I think I've solved it. There's two reasons why I've mentioned that in today's video, is because one, if you have symptoms like this, it could be something as simple as the thermostat, and two, because if you've been watching along, you'll know that I've had constant cooling issues, and I think we're finally at the end of the coolant issue saga. There was an actual reason why I got next day delivery on the parts and got it fixed so quick, because the car literally just sits on the drive and I work away when I can, but I did have to get it fixed because I'll show you a personal update. And if you can see here, we are moving out. I've already stated in this video, if you've been watching along, you will know that myself, my wife and my son moved into this house not too long ago, and that's because we were just renting. But I can officially say we have purchased our first home. I don't think this guy understands that there is a video currently getting done for TDI Society, and he's absolutely fuming. Apologies for the disturbance in the background. Obviously I'm just trying to record this and get it done, but I can't help birds shouting and screaming on the top of a roof. However, it's kind of led me into my next subject about the house, and that is that I finally have my own garage space. Yes, it comes with its own garage. That is a level up for me, because in the whole time of working on cars, I've shared with my dad, I've been in a unit or a lock-up with my mates, and now as you can see I'm on a driveway. So to have my own driveway, my own garage and its own space, I'm so happy and cannot wait to make a start. I won't just be leaving the garage as is, I'll be doing my own styling and my own lighting and flooring and all that sort of stuff, which I've never done before, so I'm really looking forward to making it my own. And as well, hopefully not having disturbances like shouting birds, barking dogs and traffic going back and forward. I'm not sure if you have managed to spy it in the video in the background or whatever, but the Bora has a new interior. If you didn't see one of my last videos about all the Mark IV platform history that I've had, I'll stick it on screen so you can catch up. And if you have watched that, you will know exactly what interior this is. I managed to get a full set of 25th anniversary Recaros, front and back, as well as the coloured stitching lap belt and the pull down centre console. This is genuinely my all-time favourite interior, and I managed to get it for a very good deal. And as you can see, it does need a valet and a clean. I've literally just installed them, but I absolutely love these seats and I'm so buzzing to get them fitted into a car that I'm 100% keeping. So the way all this came about was because I seen them up for sale at a very good price, and unfortunately I just didn't have the time and the space to be able to go and get them because they were many miles away, bring them back, store them in a house that we're moving out of, so we're packing everything. And also, once I take the old interior out, where am I going to put that? So I decided just to call it and not get them. However, I just want to give my mate Ben, that you've seen on the channel before, I'll put his TikTok account here, please go over, give him a follow to show your appreciation for this, because I can't thank him enough. What he said was, look James, I know you really like them, they're an amazing price, I'll get them for you, I'll store them for you, and then let me know when you want them fitted, and then we'll figure out what to do with your older interior, which was Mark IV GTI seats, Recaros in black and red. I obviously told him no, that's too much, but Ben being Ben, he done it anyway, even with my refusal. So again, Ben, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's massively appreciated, because I'm absolutely delighted with this interior. If you are actually interested in the Recaros that were in the car, they're really good condition, up for sale for a really good price. Again, just hit up Ben on TikTok, give him a message, because he now has them, they're up for sale, and he will even deliver them at an extra fuel cost depending on where you are. So again, if you're interested in them, I'll put a few photos on the screen of them in his van, just hit him up and he'll sort you out. It's actually brutal filming this morning, the amount of interruptions I've had. But I'm just going to continue anyway. So in the title you can see that I've put that the daily has been damaged, and as you can see on the bumper, I managed to hit a pheasant at 60 miles an hour. Wasn't my fault, it just happened, there was nothing I could do. It actually popped the bumper out here, which I managed to get back in, and I've tried the hot water trick to hopefully pop this back out, but it didn't work, purely because I think that the bumper crease line is holding it in. So I think I need to do the hot water, get my hand in somehow, and then just poke it back out. Rather annoying, but it could have been much worse. It could have went through the radiator, could have burst this light or even the headlight, but it's just a little bumper dimple. And then yesterday, coming home from work, I heard a massive spring noise and it bouncing down the street. Now, please bear with me while I try and get this angle, but if I zoom in on the back spring, you can see that it is snapped, sitting at an angle, and there is the sort of spring mount at an awkward angle as well. Thankfully it wasn't the front, so it's not affecting the tyre or the steering, and it's not sitting too low, so I can bear with that just now. But as usual, if you're doing a spring, you need to do both sides. One last thing to update you all on before I end this video off is that TDI Society now has a new sponsorship. GameBro got in touch with me and decided to sponsor the YouTube channel, and as I have here is two handheld consoles. These specifically are the R36S models, different styles, different colours. These both come with 40,000 plus preloaded games that you can choose from and play at your leisure. I'm still in the making of creating a sort of introduction video that I can include in each video that I produce, but I just wanted to give you a little sneaky peek and release the fact that I now have a new sponsorship. What I'll do for now is I'll put their website down in the description, and if you use code TDI20 you get 20% off your order. And they've got many different styles, many different colours and models to choose from, like I've mentioned. So if this is something that you're interested in, don't hesitate to just have a look, and if they see something you like, get 20% off with code TDI20. So I just want to say thank you so much to GameBro for sponsoring this channel and every video that's going to be coming out. I'm absolutely over the moon because this is all down to you guys for subscribing, watching along, interacting with me, and I can't thank you enough. And if you're watching this video, hit the subscribe button, it's totally free, and join in the TDI Society journey. And before I end this video off, I just want to say that we still have lots of merchandise for sale. So go to tdisociety.com and there is still free shipping available to any country. If the country is not on your list, then please let me know in personal message and I'll sort that out for you. The small t-shirts are now £5 less, as well as the bundle, so don't sleep on those. If you've made it this far, I just want to thank you so much, because there has been a lot spoken about today and various different subjects, but I just wanted to make this video because once we move out, there'll be a lot of time in between that I can't record and I can't get certain things done because of the house move. So I just wanted to try and get everything on one video so we're all on the same page and up to date. And again, if you have any questions or queries, just comment down below or give me a personal message. If you have made it this far, then you will be glad to know that on Sunday coming, so today is Friday, on Sunday, myself and Ben are going to be doing the biggest modifications to the Bora that it's ever had and work that I've ever done on a car. So just to keep you in the loop, we're going to be fitting the hybrid turbo that's been rebuilt, we're going to be fitting the full dark side front and intercooler kit, we're going to be fitting PD150 head bolts, all in one shift, as well as hopefully, might not happen, but might be getting another map file to put on the car to run the bigger turbo, and also a 4-bar map sensor which will be fitted within the intercooler piping. So that's all to come on Sunday. I'm going to do a big video about it, so if you've made it this far, you know these facts now, and I'm really excited because it's been going on for a number of months now, rebuilding the turbo, getting all the parts, and now that the Bora is fixed and running well, I can finally fit these parts. So it's going to be a big one, don't miss it, hit the subscribe button, check out GameBro, check out the merch. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Sunday.